here with more Guess the Game. Oh, I'm always so excited when we get to play this again. It makes me so happy. You know the rules, they give you some screenshots. You try and guess what game it's from. Every one you get wrong, they give you a little more information. Do feel free to play along with us and let us know how you've done in the comments. You know where. If there were some you got before me, or some you were surprised I got so fast, or some you were surprised I didn't get it all, etc. Do let us all know, but I'm eager to get into this. Now, these mountains, they do look kind of familiar to me, but the only thing that came to mind was Skyrim, and I'm pretty sure we already had that. So, I don't actually know what this is from. It looks like there's like a river behind it, this whole thing, but we're looking at like mountains with these weird, like, are they meant to be, are they waterfalls of their own, or are they like obelisks sticking out of the ground? It feels like they're like stone reflective pillars. I probably don't actually know what this game is, but it feels like I've seen it before. There's something about the texture of the rock with the moss all over it and everything. Let's just call it Spirit of the North 2. I don't have any better guesses than that, and I don't think I'm gonna get any. Wait, is it not called Spirit of the North 2? I'm Spirit of the North then, even though I'm pretty sure I played that and it doesn't look like this. Okay. So we now have seen some spooky mountains with weird obelisks and like a what looks like an old Mesoamerican temple or whatever. So I suppose a Tomb Raider isn't so beyond the pale. Which one would be hard to say, but I'm seeing like magic and spooky artifacts here. 2 would be like, I don't know, 5. Let's just guess if it's a Tomb Raider. Okay, original platform Switch. Okay, original platform Switch. So just a Switch release. Maybe I have played this with areas that look like this and this, but it's not a Tomb Raider. Oh, interesting. I actually I don't think I know this, but I feel like I should. A Switch exclusive, initially anyway. What could that be? And it's with some very high fidelity visuals as well. And this is 2022, so it's not Switch 2, it's Switch. Well, I say high fidelity visuals. I mean, for Switch anyway, this is pretty remarkable. So remarkable actually that I'd kind of be shocked if this was rendered in real time. It must be pre-rendered then, I guess? I have no idea what this could be. How many Switch exclusives do I know that are like... Oh, one of the Monster Hunters, maybe? Those were usually released on others, though, right? There was one of them like that was World or something that was Switch exclusive, maybe? Probably not World. I think that one's a bit too ubiquitous, but... Okay, I'm right that it's a Monster Hunter. A Monster Hunter that is Switch only. Okay, maybe Rise? I just don't know which ones are which. Rise did show up first in the list. Oh, interesting. Okay, fascinating. They're not all Switch exclusives, though, right? Or like Nintendo exclusives? I didn't think so, anyway. I'm tempted to look it up, but never mind. Anyway, first game of the day. Not our strongest showing, but oh, this is Plants vs. Zombies. I'd recognize those pebbles and that soil any time. Haha, easy one. Good. Like I said, the first game, not that impressive, but now we're paying things up a bit. Okay, I'm pretty sure I recognize this game, but I don't think I've played it. Is it Snipper Clips? Am I in the right angle here? Oh, no, it's not Snipper Clips. Okay, hang on, wait, maybe I haven't seen this. It looks like... Well, this looks almost a bit more like something like Hades or something. Oh, you don't suppose it... Well, there's the flowers. Is it the Binding of Isaac? This looks a bit too not top-down enough for that. Although, there's a lot of, like, spooky religious symbols. Could it be, like, Cult of the Lamb, maybe? A friend of mine has recently started playing Cult of Lamb, so maybe that's just why it's in my mind. But thank you very much, Magical Loon, for putting Cult of the Lamb in my mind. It certainly had that feel. That's a pretty fair one here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're looking at... It looks almost like the roof of a parking garage or something that we're, like, entering here. Or unless this is like a... Not like a Lightworks, but it's like a roof of corrugated sheets. So we're in some kind of like old shed. I know Far Cry is my catch-all, but this is giving a bit of Far Cry. Although this here looks a bit too like sci-fi. This looks like some kind of alien language or something. Did we already have Stray? I can't remember. We've done too many games. There are officially too many video games. It's not Stray. Although looking at this, I feel like I was kind of on the right track somehow. Is it horror? Oh, it looks kind of like a weird puzzle game or something now. Although then again, maybe it's just a Dying Light or something like that, and it's just zombie apocalypse. Things are abandoned. Dying Light actually feels right somehow. Not Dying Light. No hospital, no authority, no hope. Okay, but maybe zombies, though. That might be right. Project Zomboid Days? Project Zomboid. What is that? Is that a thing? Project Zomboid? Am I making that up? I'm not necessarily... Oh, this is Alien Isolation. Is it not? Sure looks like it. Oh, wow, okay, I would not have gotten... I was right when I said this looks very sci-fi, but... None of the rest of this was saying Alien Isolation to me. Because here, this looks like sunlight pouring through, like, a thin corrugated sheet, or, like, lights in a parking garage, neither of which could be Alien Isolation. And this looks like light peeking through a window. Although, and I thought it was daylight, but I guess it could just be starlight while you're passing through space. This, I might have gotten was Alien Isolation, especially with the sort of, like, film grain, and the chromatic aberration, is that what you call it, around the sides of this, where it's almost like you can see blues and greens sort of peeling off. Anyway, we got it. Alien Isolation, not bad. Oh. Is this Breath of the Wild? We've already had Breath of the Wild. I feel like I should recognize this. I can't tell if this is gameplay and we're really zoomed in, or if this is part of like an animated cutscene, like a pre-rendered one. It almost is giving like pre-rendered anime cutscene, and this is like a snake's head, and it's about to go like blah. So it could be like a Tails or something. I feel like I do recognize this particular scene though, with this color scheme. Like I should know what this is, but I'm kind of got nothing. I'm gonna say Bomberman Jitter sticks out in my head because there's a cutscene that looks a bit like this, but I doubt it's that. So I'm just gonna guess one of the Tailses and hope this is one of the pre-rendered cutscene. Tales of Innocence. That's a Game by one, I think. So I guess it wouldn't be that. Berseria? Oh, it's not a Tails. Okay, I was way off looking at this. World of Slimes, maybe? Or World of Goo? What's it actually called? World of Slime... World of Goo, I guess. That's kind of what it makes me think of, just looking at it. But it's not that. Original platform DS. Oh, this will be Bowser's Inside Story then, I guess. Surely. I mean, this looks like... This is what I picture the inside of Bowser looking like. Interesting. So I have no idea what this is, and I've not played Bowser's Inside Story, so I actually haven't recognized this. I was wrong on my instinct there. This does not look at all like Mario to me, though, so I understand me not having guessed that, but this looks an awful lot like a Mario and Luigi game, and being that it's all inside and organy looking. Inside Story seemed like a fair bet. All right, moving it along. Whew. Okay. I'm thinking we're looking like 2015 or later. Could it be another Batman Arkham game? You know, it looks a little gruesome and gritty and maybe a bit like anarchic, but it looks a little too colorful for one of the Batman Arkham games. Those are usually like at night, very blue and gray and like washed out, or with like neon lights. And there's like a yellow mist pouring out. I can't tell if it's just like fog bathed in like a sunset glow, or if we're like, this is like some kind of nerve toxin being put into the room. Once again, I feel like I have seen this, but I can't really picture it. I'm kind of confused about what this is also. It's like there's a bunch of concrete buildings, like high rises, and this is like bricks sticking out of it with a window on the front that's got a grate on it or something. I can't really tell what it's supposed to be. And these cables, are they meant to be a zip line, or are they like a funicular? What are they suspending? Because that's what it looks like they're for. Metro or Batman are probably my best guess. But it certainly doesn't look like Batman. Let's try one of the Metros, maybe? I can't remember which Metros we've done. Is the Metro Last Light the same series as Metro Exodus? Is that the same kind of thing? No idea. Metro Last Light. Try it. Okay, so I was probably closer on the, unless this is Uncharted Lost Legacy. Because this looks an awful lot like the first town here. No, but there aren't this many trees in that area. But this looks an awful lot like the first town in India you are in that game. This shed especially, it looks like something Chloe Fraser would crash through. And a Metacritic score of 83%, that would kind of fit. But then I wouldn't know what this is. If it is Lost Legacy, they're being really cheeky by showing us only like the prologue bits. But I don't remember... Oh wait, unless it's this Stray? This could, I guess, be Stray. I can't remember if we've had Stray yet. Actually, you know what? This looks a lot more like Stray than anything. Oh, okay, right. Stray very much has the feeling that it's a bit like Far Cry, where I feel like there are a lot of games it could look like. I don't remember this shot from Stray, but I could see it being in Stray. I wonder what the other ones they would have given us were. Okay, yeah, I probably would have gotten this. This is in the pub, right? Or this looks a bit like a kitchen. I think this is in the pub in the city. Right, okay, I would have gotten it from this, probably. This is the sort of main square of the city, and then we're gonna get a cat, no doubt, later. We got some robots here and a cat last, probably. I do love knitting. So far, I've knitted 478 miles of scarves. It's something to do. I like Stray. I was thinking, since I've already played Stray like with my family the one time, I thought if we ever did play Stray on the channel, I'd go for, there's one achievement that's like one of those speedrun achievements for like beat the game in under 5 hours or whatever. I thought we might like just try and blitz that all at once, and then go 100% and get the rest of the achievements. If we ever chose to play it on the channel, because it's a fun game. I figured I'd probably take that angle on it of 100%. Anyway, moving it along. How many is that we're in now? 100, like 6 games in, 7 games in. No, 6. Right. So a very like clip art styled, stark color contrast, cartoonish view of the sun rising, I assume, because the sky is more blue than orange. You can see barest edges of buildings in the distance here. Clouds up top as well. I'm not recognizing the style of it once again. Last time we were here, I said World of Goo, but this looks even a little too cartoony for what I think of World of Goo as looking like. Oh, could it be Happy Wheels, maybe? I was wondering. That would be maybe a little bit cheaty, since you can make Happy Wheels look like many things. Nope, but I think I was probably on a similar track. We've got a cursor of some kind here. I think that's in the game, it is. And we're looking at some colorful, like, it's like a, we're viewing it from the side, like a side scroller. Colorful terrain. I think Happy Wheels wasn't a terrible guess. And a critic score of 80. I feel like we saw one that looked a bit like this earlier, and it was something mining related, right? So could this be a sequel to that? Like, was that Spelunky, and this will be like Spelunky 2 or something? Not quite. Oh, now this looks a little more familiar, actually. Original platform mobile. Okay, I'm probably screwed, because I very seldom play mobile games, and I only got my first phone when I was 16, because I just didn't have much interest in that sort of thing. I played very few mobile games, but it looks, I guess, like we're arcing something that could be thrown here, and so I guess it could be Angry Birds. Although the rest of this I wouldn't say looks especially Angry Birds-ish to me. Can't remember if we've had Angry Birds yet. It's probably a good guess, though. Boosh! Angry Birds! I needed this platform mobile hint for that, though. I wasn't gonna get it otherwise. Never played Angry Birds, never played Candy Crush. What are the other mobile games that everyone's played that I haven't? Fruit Ninja? I have played Jetpack Joyride, though, but I played it on PS3, of all things. I quite like Jetpack Joyride, actually. That's fun. Ooh, this is cool. So we're looking at a fire here, but it's got like a painted sort of style. The textures on the ground and everything. This is not being rendered in real time. No. This is clearly a still from a cutscene or something. But then what? No idea, actually. I feel like I've probably seen something kind of like it before, but I could not place it. I feel like I saw some fantasy game that's like a multiplayer D&D-ish thing. Kind of like Baldur's Gate, but much more indie than that had a style kind of like this, but I couldn't tell you the name. I got nothing. I'm going to put Guild Wars 1, because they do painted stuff like this. Guild Wars is not actually a terrible guess, although this looks more like gameplay, but it's got a lovely painted style. A Metacritic score of 89, so it's probably something I've heard of then, if it was something so good. Not that there aren't things that pass under the radar and everything, but an 89%, that's usually reserved for games a lot of people have played, I would think. Now, I'm not convinced I haven't played it just yet, but I'm not certain. I would again say it looks like we're doing a side scroller here, and this looks like this screenshot is above where our player character would be. It's too paintery for Hollow Knight, which is a little bit more of a cartoon style. Also, we already had Hollow Knight, I'm pretty sure, and Silksong wasn't out yet. One of the Monkey Islands, perhaps? I'm not sure. I feel like I will know this and kick myself, but Return to Monkey Island. No, but that actually doesn't feel like a terrible guess considering what we're looking at here. PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One, so it's something not super... It's going to be a 2D, like, side-scroller or something of some kind, and this looks like a level select. Or could it be some kind of roguelike, where this is like a randomized path you'll take through each time and it branches? What's the one that with the Tower of Cards? I don't think the map screen looks like this, but Tower of Time, Tower Babel, Tower of Guns. Card, I feel like it had card and tower in the title, like Tower Card. There's a Card Captor Sakura game? Several, in fact. Card Apocalypse, I don't know. I've got nothing here. Roguelike deck building. Oh, shoot. Okay, I shouldn't have been goofing around. It is that game where you go up a tower and you're doing cards. I just don't know what it's called. Oh, crap. Tower... I thought it was just Tower of Cards, actually. The Deadly Tower of Monsters. Tower of Babel. Tower of Mirrors. It's got tower in it. Oh, no. Painful Ascension. Painful... what's it called? Oh, Slay the Spire? Maybe? Ah, that's the one. Okay, right. Painful Ascension. I don't know where I got Painful Ascension from. Slay the Spire. I guess I kind of see how I got Painful Ascension from Slay the Spire. The name was in there somewhere. Wow, I actually can't believe I know so little about that game that I would have clocked that from these two screenshots that it was kind of in my mind, the card building thing. Wow, anyway. On a roll here, haven't gotten any wrong yet. Okay, well, this is fairly featureless. And all the same, I feel like I've seen this particular shot. It's not a lot to go on. We're around some soil, but it looks like there's like evergreen stuff on the ground. Like there's like pine needles and some other leaves and things. So there's a rock just sitting here. I can't tell what this is. It looks almost like it could be the bare edge of a tire. I still can't remember which of the Uncharteds we've had. It almost reminds me of the scenes in... Oh, where the hell is that? Kings Bay in Madagascar in Uncharted 4, but the soil isn't red enough for that, I don't think. So I don't think we're there. So rocks on the ground... in some kind of forest clearing, perhaps. A mostly realistic style. I think the real tricky thing with this is I don't get a sense of the era, if we're in medieval times or in some kind of futuristic sci-fi, so I'm gonna have to take some really huge leaps of faith if I haven't seen it, which I don't think I have, now thinking about it a little more. So just some game that could take place in a rural environment that we haven't had already, and that I wouldn't recognize. Far Cry, I guess? Far Cry 4. Not a Far Cry? Okay, this is a bit more helpful. We've got some architecture in here. Could almost be Elden Ring, except I think we had that already, but it's looking like fantasy. We've got ruins that are being overgrown here. Well, I suppose it could be something like an Uncharted or Tomb Raider. It's hard to... Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, they're showing us a distinct lack of of things you'd expect to see to identify the area, which makes it sound like whatever's off-screen, just off-screen, is really important. Although these are like some big old-looking statues, so it's probably actually we're leaning a bit more fantasy. Guess the game came out in 2022, and this game does not look like it could have come out any earlier than 2016, I would have said. Looks pretty nice, with the lighting especially. These shadows are pretty good looking, unless it's something pre-rendered, but that's not the sense I get, because I don't think this is pre-rendered. I also don't think they would do two pre-rendered things in a row. In fact, it even looks like we've got some ray tracing and stuff going on, which I think mostly was starting to come into AAA games in a sort of major way by 2018. Maybe I've got that a little wrong, but... So I'm thinking this game was fairly recent at the time Game 189 came out. The environment says Soulsborne to me, but the visuals look too nice for Souls 1, 2, or 3, and I think we already had Elden Ring. And it's too not gory enough for Bloodborne. Fascinating, this. Could it be some sort of Lord of the Rings thing? The architecture says a bit Lord of the Rings to me, but then not quite. This doesn't really look like... I mean, where in Lord of the Rings do you have, like, a stone archway with, like, statues guarding on either side? I mean, they have, like, statues guarding stuff, but, like, this looks so significant. Anyway, let me stop justifying that. It doesn't seem like Lord of the Rings to me. No, you know what? The other reason I'm pretty sure this is gameplay is because these leaves are not super highly detailed. If this was a pre-rendered thing, they would have made these leaves look a little less thin and two-dimensional. So I'm almost certain this is gameplay. Oh, this one's bugging me, because like I'm sure the next image we get will help hugely, but like I feel like I could have a good shot at it from here, but nothing's coming to mind. I don't recognize it from Uncharted 4, and I think even it looks a little too new for Uncharted 4. Ah, okay, I'll just give it a Tomb Raider, if it's an 80%. Shadow, Rise of the... No, it's a little later than that, isn't it? Rise of the Tomb Raider was like 2013 or something. Shadow of the Tomb Raider? Not a Tomb Raider. Okay, this is helpful. It's original platform PC, and we've got a huge old cannon. Maybe something more like For Honor? But then, or maybe it's a Dragon Age or something? I don't know what platform the Dragon Ages usually show up on. I thought they would usually show up on consoles like Xbox and stuff. Original platform PC. Originally a PC exclusive. That should actually narrow it down a decent bit from like a AAA stuff, because they usually like to get it all over the consoles. With a cannon. And this looks like a lit fire here. So like an active war zone, because it's not like this is abandoned. And then, oh, the cannon, I just noticed the cannon is like on like a crane of some kind. So lowering a cannon down somewhere and firing it at like a castle in the middle of a war. Also in an area with like old fantasy looking stuff. When was the latest Drakengard game? Drakengard 3? It's not a Drakengard. Oh, interesting. Okay, genre action adventure horde thingy Left 4 Dead like. Okay, I probably don't know this. Could it be one of the plagues? What is that's not what they're called actually, is it? Plague what's the game I'm thinking of? The Plague, the 4-player one. Plague or Pestilence or Pest Rodent Plague. It's not Plague Inc. That's the strategy game where you're a virus. Plague Road, maybe? No, original release 2018. Okay, I actually called that pretty well, didn't I, huh? An action-adventure horde Left 4 Dead like. I think it is maybe the game... Oh, Vermintide is the one I was thinking of when I was saying Plague. Vermintide. Oh, okay, good, right. I just couldn't remember the name, but I had it around here. I forgot that was a Warhammer-related thing. Whew, okay, I just made that. That was close. I've seen that played sporadically here and there, and I don't really know anything about it. But it's what it made me think of. I wasn't getting it from these first three at all. I was way the wrong way. But actually, this genre description helped. Moving along. Right, finally to game on 90. Okay, interesting. So we were in some kind of rural-ish environment, but we've got big old robots, or like a jet or something going on here. This is a very zoomed-in picture, but I'm thinking robot looks like likely. 2022. When did Sonic Frontiers come out? Because that's kind of what it makes me think of. Let's see if Sonic Frontiers shows up. Sometimes the most important one shows up near the top. Sonic Frontiers is like is kind of what it makes me think of it. Oh, it's almost. I was gonna say it's almost not cartoony enough, but actually Sonic Frontiers area designs are a bit more realistic, aren't they? Okay, no, but that was a decent guess. Oh, Metacritic score of 94%. It looks fairly old. This looks like it could be a. Oh, okay. I was about to say this looks like it could be a pre-rendered cutscene, except this green thing here looks like the shoulder of a character. Could it be like Heart of Darkness or something like that? These like vines giving me weird vibes. It's kind of, these two pictures don't feel like they go well together. This one looks like it pre-rendered something. If it's not a pre-rendered cutscene, it's like a pre-rendered background with a bunch of gnarled trees and stuff. It actually reminds me a bit of the canyon in, whose name I don't remember, in Final Fantasy VII, but we already had Final Fantasy. We definitely had Final Fantasy VIII. I can't remember if we had Final Fantasy VII now, actually. Oh, you know what? This could totally be a pre-rendered background for Final Fantasy VII. But I feel like I would remember this a bit more closely. Like, I kind of remember, like, this looks like the canyon environment to me, except for this, like, city in the background. Unless that's meant to be, like, whatever city where the train crashes into it. Let's give it a go, because I don't really have any better guesses. Although it could also almost be like a Lion King or something. But no, not the city. Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember if we had it yet. Not that. Original platform PC. Okay, I was off the mark. Perhaps it's some kind of point and click thing then. So original platform PC, and this does not look any newer than like 2004. And that's even being a bit generous here. This looks, I would say this looks like it was released around the year 2000 if for a PC game, with lots of pre-rendered stuff, some kind of point and click thing maybe. That's my best guess, because the lighting and stuff, I'm like, that there's no way that was real time from the way the rest of the visual fidelity looks. But the rest of the visual fidelity, like the quality of the models and textures, says old. So the lighting is too good for it to be rendered in real time in the early 2000s. But the textures and models are too old looking for it to be past the early 2000s. So I'm like, it's early 2000s or late 90s pre-rendered something. In which case, what should it be? Some kind of mystery game or something? But look at all the environments you go to. Some kind of alien, like extraterrestrial based game? This could be some kind of spaceship. This could be some old planet you land on. And this some kind of like spaceport or something. It definitely has the feel that if you'd played this, you would know it from this. This looks like a very recognizable shot. I don't think I know enough point and click games. The only thing that comes to mind is Myst, but I know that takes place on like a spooky island. I don't think it's like this. But I may as well put it in. Oh, I didn't realize there was a series. Try Myst 4 then. Today is the first day of the end of your life. Genre adventure. Okay, I might have gotten that it was a point and click kind of adventure thing. That quote probably feels like it would be pertinent as well, but I don't think I'm going to get this. But I was on the right guess with the kind of game that Myst is. What famous first-person point-and-click games with pre-rendered 3D stuff are there? I'm pretty sure there was a Jurassic Park one that had a bit of this style, but it was a bit older, and this doesn't feel Jurassic Park. This feels more like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something. Let's just see what Hitchhiker pulls up. That's not how you spell Hitchhiker, is it, Admiral? Oh, I don't actually have a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy game anywhere in here? Rough. Oh, I got nothing. My knowledge of point-and-click style games is pretty limited. I'm almost certain I'm not going to get this. I'm just going to take a skip here. This is bugging me. Oh, original release 1998. This looks a bit like Grim Fandango. I wasn't, which is not a point-and-click game as I was imagining, but it is a kind of adventure game a bit like this. I've not played it, but oh, wow, okay. I was not going to get Grim Fandango from this, maybe this, but oh, the first day of the end of your life. Okay, I probably should have gotten it from that. But these first two, not at all would I have guessed that. Okay, wow. This character seems very much like something from Grim Fandango, and I assume we'll get Manny or whatever his name is in the last one here. Okay, yeah. I'd have gotten it from this. But wow, okay, so I was right that things are... Well, actually, is this game fully pre-rendered? Like, the background's pre-rendered like Resident Evil style? I think they must be, right? If this is 1988. There's no way you could get this kind of like lighting and stuff in 1988 in real time. But it so looks not pre-rendered. They've done a really good job of blending it anyway. That's a classic that I've always been meaning to play. I've seen little bits of it, and what I saw I thought was really brilliant. Wow, that one took me on a journey, like a really huge journey. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, game 191. Oh, we're going to game 210, by the way, if I didn't say that already. It probably will be in the title of the video. I spent so long on this first 10. We gotta really pick up the pace here. All right, so someone's got pew here with like a bad drawing of a gun on the wall. We got this like high-tech sci-fi things are bolted together here. So I'm thinking of something like Half-Life is what came to mind, something like that. But it looks a little too whimsical for Half-Life. And the lighting looks a little too warm and sort of pastelish and artsy on the left side here. So it could be one of those like steampunk, you know, there's those like Blizzard games, like you got like your League of Legends, what is League of Legends Blizzard? I always forget. It's not, right? We looked that up earlier. You got your like World of Warcrafts and your League of Legends and all them that have that sort of like colorful, cartoony steampunk style to them. This kind of gives me the vibe of that, except a bit more sci-fi rather than fantasy steampunk. But this particular screenshot is bugging me. I feel like I'm getting nothing from this. But who would be spray painting pew on a wall? And in what game? I'm gonna take a skip on this first one. This is annoying me. Okay, we got some erupting volcanoes and a wall with something that says pew on it. Could this be something like Helldivers? I don't know when the Helldivers came out. Let's try Helldivers 2. No, okay, let's look a little bit more monstery. So something with like something on the wall, painted or stained on the wall that says pew. Oh, I thought this was like a bad drawing of a gun here, but it might be part of a bigger drawing, I guess. This one, we got some kind of volcanic eruption going on or stuff falling from the sky in blazes of fire. Oh, well, could that be a Titan falling? So it's Titanfall, maybe? That's all I know about Titanfall is that giant robots fall out of the sky. Oh, it is a Titanfall. Okay. Well, the Titans falling sure helped. There are only two I can pick from here. Nice. Oh, interesting. I really don't know about Titanfall, apparently, because I would not have guessed Titanfall from this, but... Or that it had monsters in it, actually, but looking at this, the Titan's falling. That's handy. You know, moving it on. Ooh, okay, so we're looking into space. We can see a big planet on the horizon. This could almost be Subnautica. Seeing one of those huge moons in the distance. Or it could be like a Destiny or a Halo or something. Ooh, hard to say. You know, I feel like Halo's a good shout, better than Subnautica or Destiny. I'm just gonna go for like Halo 4. Okay, this is looking more like Subnautica. I think this is the floating island, but they've got it at a weird angle. Is it Subnautica? Actually, it very much has a Subnautica-like feel, but then I can't really recognize this particular island. I did play a lot of Subnautica, so maybe it's below zero? Well, no, if you're below zero, you're not seeing this. We already have Subnautica. Let's just try Subnautica. Okay, it was Subnautica. I was this close to overthinking that. I probably I should have guessed that from this. You know, actually, I stand by saying Halo here, because I don't remember any of the moons in the distance being like this big and misty in the distance. But it definitely came to mind as soon as I saw this. What else would they have given us? Oh yeah, I might have gotten it from this, but I think they have like their texture settings different or something than I did, because it looks all a little less cartoony than I remember it. This looks a bit more like realistic underwater, like Endless Ocean or something. What were they giving us for 4? Okay, I would have gotten it from this. This is the Creepvines, right? Exploration, horror-ish adventure, right? Here's the Aurora crashed. And lastly, the cuttlefish. Oh, my poor little cuttlefish. Sorry that I took you out of your natural environment and kidnapped you on my boat, but I couldn't bear to leave you behind. Or wait, am I misremembering that? Are you not allowed to take them with you and I had to leave you behind? I remember some form of trauma associated with you. Either I took you and felt really bad about it, or I didn't take you and felt really bad about it. Anyway, moving it on. Okay, so we've got some huge stone valley here with a rainbow in the center. This is really gorgeous, whatever it is. Kind of hard to say what the perspective is here, if this is just some background in a 2D game, or if this is some big explorable 3D world. Whatever it is, I love it. Almost has the vibes it could be like some kind of Avatar game, right? Let's try an Avatar just before as in James Cameron, not as in Last Airbender. It's before I overthink anything else. Okay, nope, but that was a not overly awful guess. This reminds me a bit of the bit in the sky in Dark Souls 2. Not wholly, but then a lot actually. I wouldn't recognize this from Dark Souls 2 necessarily, but I don't think I explored the whole world. This, you know what? This is actually saying such Dark Souls 2 to me. I'm not like 100% confident on it, but I want to give that a go. Okay, wrong again. Original platform Switch. Original platform Switch with beautiful environments. There's this, and this. Some kind of bird? Huh. Some kind of sparkly something flying up from the ground. Originally a Switch exclusive. These trees make me very much think of Spore, but, so I suppose it could be Skylanders? Was there a Skylanders game on Switch? I don't know which ones were. Giants? It's not a Skylanders game. Oh, it'll be Xenoblade then, I guess. Okay, action art JRPG, sure. So it's originally on Switch, which means it's not Xenoblade 1. So it's Xenoblade 2 or 3, basically. Which you know what, looking back on it from the varied landscapes, I probably should have guessed that. But the robot was what tipped it off for me. I don't remember when Xenoblade 3 came out. I'm gonna say this is gonna be Xenoblade 2, because that was more likely out at this time. It's Xenoblade 3, alright. Someday on the channel we'll play them, and then I'll never get these wrong again, which won't matter because I'll have already guessed them. Ready, moving it along. Ooh, okay, so we've got some kind of gray hologram thing. So this won't be gameplay or something, or if it's gameplay, regardless, this is not what the gameplay looks like, I don't think. I've got the sense this is some kind of lore note you find or cutscene you're looking at where it's showing you like what's going on, what some machine looks like with a hologram. It makes me think a lot actually of Bomberman Hero, where you're looking at like especially the low resolution. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not a bad shout. Whenever like you go into one of the like weird vehicles, not jetters, Hero or 64. I think I'm thinking of Hero, and it shows you a little like hologram of it spinning around. Okay, not even close, but I don't mind that I tried guessing that from this. This almost looks like Don't Starve or something, but I feel like we already had that. Don't Starve or like Little Misfortune, or is it just called Misfortune? Whatever it's called. Or like Friend Beau or something? I don't know. It's got a very particular art style, right? Or maybe like How Deep Can We Go or whatever it's called? What's the one we were on the submarine? Not Barotrauma, but like it's like cartoon 1800s Barotrauma or whatever. Not quite 1800s, but like early 1900s. How deep have we gone? How deep can we go? Whatever it's something like that. This looks a little too like magic and voodoo for that though. So it's closer to a Don't Starve or a Friend Beau, I guess. Let's try Don't Starve. But that's probably okay. We're all in it together. Original platform, PC, and Wii. I don't know. I think this one's something misleading from a small part of the game, probably. I feel like you definitely know it from this. It could be some kind of Super Meat Boy or something. That's what this makes me think of. Original platform, PC, and Wii. Surely Super Meat Boy was after the time of Wii, though, right? Well, then it was like 2010. So it was like right around the time the Wii would have been going out. I don't think I have a better guess than Super Meat Boy. It's gonna plague my mind until I guess it, and I won't be able to think of anything else. Genre, puzzle game. Okay. So not Super Meat Boy. But I do get the sense that it's something I will have seen. It's got a pretty recognizable art style, I would say. I don't really know what's going on here. Is that like a toggle, or is it like a hand grasping a lever or something? I'm just baffled by this one. I have no idea what to make of it. I feel like this bit of UI in the corner underneath the note should help me as well, but what game could have all this? It might come to me if I give it more time, but I don't want to wait. Let's see that. Is this World of Goo, maybe? I thought it looked a little less cartoony than this, and I didn't realize it was originally on Wii. Oh, wow, okay. That kind of came to mind when I looked at this, but then I was like, this isn't Goo, it's like a C mine or something. I probably should have just guessed it. I mean, I absolutely should have just guessed it, clearly. But I had like a 12% confidence in that. Interesting. I also did not realize that was this early. I thought that was a much more recent thing, nor did I realize it was it had a coincidental PC and Nintendo release. Wowzer. Oh, this looks like it could be a Katamari, kind of. Oh, actually, Holy Bible. There's probably not a Holy Bible in Katamari, is there? That's immediately what it made me think of. I feel like I've seen this art style before. Could it be one of the... Oh, like Power Drill Massacre or something like that? It's maybe something like that, but not Power Drill Massacre. It's too homely looking for this. But I think it is that kind of style. It's got that kind of like that Firewatch or that Katamari. That thing is that style where things are shaded, but in very two-tone sort of ways, but not quite cel-shaded. Oh, this is interesting. Holy Bible. Could it be like Night of the Nun or Nun Massacre? They changed the name at some point. I think it's now called Night of the Nun. That doesn't show up here. Nun Massacre? Maybe that was a bit too recent and indie. I was thinking because there's a Bible. I've got a feeling I will know this one. Let me just guess a Katamari. No, it can't be Katamari. There's no way to put the Holy Bible in Katamari. And all these objects don't look separate enough to come apart like Katamari objects do. Think, Admiral, think. Unless it's Sagebrush, which we played earlier. Oh, let me just see if it's in the list. Or if it's too indie. It does have that vibe, kind of, doesn't it? Oh, no. Okay. Wrong. Totally and utterly wrong. I can't remember what Sagebrush looks like, actually. It was had a bit of a colorful, stylized look like that. Okay, this is very interesting. A brick between two pieces of bread. Oh, it couldn't be Rayman TV Party, could it? And it kind of looks a bit like this. My other thought was like Dispatch or something, but that only came out this year. 2022 ain't right for that. What I can't tell is... Oh, is this the game where you're the cat knocking stuff off the shelf? Maybe? Why would there be a brick in a sandwich? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's try Rabbids TV Party. As soon as I can spell the word party correctly. That's kind of the vibe it's giving. Okay, no, that was wrong, but I'm glad I guessed it, because I was feeling good about that. Okay, never mind. We got some horses on like a canvas here. So it's something a bit more fantasy? Or like zombies or something? Original platform PC. I don't think I know this. What's the zombie one? Returned? Return. Oh, that's not Return. Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of. Is it cheating to check my Steam library? I think probably it is. I think I need a bit more. Give me a skip, please. Oh, okay. Apparently horses are a bit of a thing in it. Oh, right. I feel I may have seen this one played, but I don't think I could guess it. Let's just guess Donut County. That's a game, right? But it's a bit more stylized than this, isn't it? Originally it's 2020. So everyone's kind of like faceless, polygonal things. Our Ept. Oh, this is bugging me, because this is so clearly like a thing, like that happens, like a scene from the game that you would remember, that I can tell that I would know it if only I'd played it. And I feel like the name might be somewhere in the recesses of my mind, but I can't really get a picture of what this whole game is, so I don't think I'm going to get anything here. Developer, Cardboard Computer, Equus Oils, actually. Disco Elysium came to mind, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like this. And I think we already had it maybe also. Equus Oils, so there's a lot of big horse theme. There's that one... It's like a road trip through Canada that makes me think a bit of this, but I don't think I know the name of this game. Oh, I think Kentucky Route Zero is maybe the thing I was thinking of, but I wasn't going to summon it. There you go. Okay, I've definitely heard of it. Let me just Google that real quick. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Well, I guess Interstate 65 in Kentucky, not through Canada. I'm thinking of a different game there, but I was right that it's like a road trip type kind of thing. Sort of. Maybe? Actually, no, it says you're a delivery person, so I guess not. Kentucky Route Zero, there you go. I've certainly heard of the game, but and I might have seen the odd screenshot here or there, but that didn't strike any chord of familiarity in me. Oh, and speaking of things that don't strike a chord of familiarity to me, this doesn't mean anything to me at all, but it is gorgeous. This sort of like pixel art, almost Renaissance style, with the light streaming in from this side. It almost looks like a pixelated version of like an Elden Ring city or something Soulsborne-y, Miyazaki-ish. Could I place what the game is? I couldn't. Oh man, we're getting into a rough patch here where I know nothing. I don't want to hang around too long though. Let's skip it ahead a bit. Okay, it's 2D platformer, so this is maybe a Castlevania of some kind? I mean, this certainly looks like it could be in a Castlevania, doesn't it? But I wouldn't have guessed that from the previous one. Let's try one of the Castlevanias. Judgment! Not a Castlevania. PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One, so a little more recent than I was perhaps imagining. You got people bleeding from various wounds. Dark fantasy style, pixelated. Looks like it could even be like some kind of roguelike or something. I feel like I know the names of like 3 different games that could probably fit it, but they're not coming to me right now. What's the one where you... Dead Cell? I think it's Dead Cells I'm thinking of, but it's more colorful than this and a bit more high fantasy, isn't it? So that's right. Metroidvania platformer, okay. It's another game where I'm like, I'm almost positive I will have heard of this, but I couldn't. There are no names coming to mind. I think you're going to have to tell me this one. The Game Kitchen. Yeah, I've definitely seen this kind of thing. I was on the right track by guessing Castlevania. Tell me. Blasphemous. Okay. I don't know that I would have ever gotten that. But it's very much of a type of game I have seen before. Looks pretty cool, though. Alrighty. Moving it on. Okay. So we're looking at some kind of like police or like FBI desk here. A whole bunch of papers with redacted crap all over them. Interesting. A sort of colorful looking style. It actually almost could be like a Life is Strange, except I'm not sure what, there's a lot of red and orange going on in here. And the only point I can think in Life is Strange 1 where you're in an area like this is that principal's room, and I don't know why you'd have so much redacted stuff. Oh man, we're in a patch here where I'm really getting bad at this. It's partly because, as I was saying, the farther we go into Guess the Game, the more newer games are going to be on there. It's like anything that's come out in the past 5 years is a big guess from me. I don't keep up with the newest games so much like that. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna throw a Life is Strange in there because I don't want to spend a million years on ones if there's no chance I'll get them. Let's try True Colors because it looks a bit. Oh, it is Life is Strange. Okay, that's just Life is Strange 1, isn't it? So that was a decent instinct of mine, but I should have just put Life is Strange 1. But it looks when True Colors showed up there, I was like, yeah, you know what? It looks a little newer. Silly me. Weird. I don't remember where this would be, actually, with all the weird colors and stuff. Maybe the creepy security guy's room? Dunno. I say creepy, that's harsh. This is getting over it. I'd know that. Peer anywhere? You can't fool me. Moving it on. Next one. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of paint like splashing out from the middle of something here. It looks like we've maybe got some like trees in the distance here, and it's all got like kind of a painted style. The thing that came to mind was chicory, but chicory is a little more two-tone than this. It doesn't have, you don't get, it's like streaky canvas style here. I feel like I should be able to get it from like the way the particle effects are flying out. That feels familiar in some way, but I can't. I can't, is the thing. It's kind of bugging me though, that I can't. I want to see the next picture, but I don't want to like waste my first guess. Let's just put an Ori in. It doesn't look like that, but Ori. Interesting. Metacritic scored 90%. Okay, now I'm way off the scent. This does not look familiar to me at all. Unless it's some Destiny thing. This doesn't look like Destiny, though. This is pre-rendered two-dimensional, is it not? We're not actually in a 3D space we can navigate here? Or are we? Oh, man, I don't know. Oof, I'm getting the stuffing beat out of me here. I'm not doing well in this middle portion. This is interesting with the shield on the front and then this sort of like circular cog pattern on the side. It feels pointed somehow. Feathers on either side. I have no idea what this could be. I'm all drawing a blank here. It sort of has that like Greek mythology feel to the statue, but I can't reconcile that with this shot here, which looks like it's like on a painted canvas. I mean, it does sort of actually have a hand-painted style, but I can't tell if that's just in the texturing or if the whole thing is a painting. But no, the way the shadows like clump on there, they feel very much like a separate built entity, or do they? I can't tell. Just at death's door, or death's door. So let me have a next guess, shall I? Original platform, PC, and Switch. Oh, Worms. It could be Worms, I suppose. This reticle looks almost like something you'd see in a Worms game. I have no idea what's going on through all this though. But Worms, Rumble. Oh, it's not Worms. Oh, a genre shooter platformer. Hey, I don't think I know this, but you'd probably know it from this style, wouldn't you? A shooter and platformer that originally released to go on PC and Switch. I'm not thinking I know this. It's got sort of like a comic book style to it. This could be just totally misleading here, this particular scene. Let me zoom it ahead one and just see. Oh no, okay, this is definitely the idea of the style. 2022. So this would have been a recent release as of this game. On second thought, I've had enough of this place. I feel like I probably should know this game's name. It's not Ghostwire Tokyo, right? We had that already and that was some 3D thing, right? Although I feel like it might have Ghost in the name. It does seem vaguely familiar. But I'm pretty sure it's not Ghostwire Tokyo because I think we had that already, but just because my memory sucks, let's just hit that. Developer Angel Matrix. Locked on, say your prayers. Elevate Stomp. I'm not thinking I know the name of this, but it sure looks cool. Neon White. Never heard of it. The character designs are pretty cool though, with the sort of like devil masks with like the hollowed out eyes and things, but they've sort of got like a faux traditional feel to them. This is like an ogre and this is like a sort of fox devil thing. It's pretty neat. This looks like a Mega Man of some kind. That'll be a Wily Castle, one of them. So if it's NES, it's gonna be Mega Man 1, 2, or 3, probably. I think the castle looks a lot more blue in Mega Man 1, so let's say Mega Man 3. Boom, Mega Man 3. I've not played any of the Mega Mans, but that's very much the vibe it had. Now, Mega Man 1 and 2, I think the color palette being a lot more bluish, so that was just why I guessed that way. Nice, all right, let's pick up a bit more steam here, shall we? Oh, and immediately into something that I feel like is gonna give me a hard time. Because again, I feel like I've seen these grass and dirt textures. We're viewing from above, so it could be something like a tycoon game, like Prison Architect or something. You know what, actually, Prison Architect isn't a bad shout, is it? I don't get the sense I've played it, but I feel like I've seen it played. I think that is the kind of game we're looking at here. Like a builder game where you're trying to make things be efficient, but then what would this be? Or unless it's the Escapists, but no, it doesn't quite look, it looks a little too detailed for the Escapists. The Escapists is a little more two-toned and stuff. All right, so a pixel art style, a Metacritic score of 86%. I would say it looks a bit newer with a retro style rather than retro itself. Tessellating grass textures with a straight path through it. So what that suggests to me, if it's like a tessellated texture that's being pasted over and over again, rather than like an authored, hand-drawn backdrop for the stage, that says to me either one of three things, basically. The budget was really small. I don't think it's that, though. Or it's something where the player can generate areas, which is why my mind went to Tycoon Game. Or, you know, I call them Tycoon games, but that's sort of like simulation, like Prison Architect or like Roller Coaster Tycoon or, you know, like the Jurassic Park one where you build a Jurassic Park, or like Tropico or one of those. I just call them Tycoon games, but I guess they're like business simulation games, whatever you want to call them. Either way, something where you're like terraforming and designing the area. Or it's a game that's really long, so they had to make it tessellating just to be able to make all the levels, and they couldn't possibly hand draw them all. I'm leaning towards a Tycoon game of some kind, though, like Prison Architect. I think that was a good guess. I just don't know where to follow it up with. I think I'm going to need to take the skip. I'm not getting anything from this. Oh. Original platform PC. Never mind. This is actually feeling a lot more like an authored RPG Maker type thinking looking at this. Not that I have any sense of what. Got an sort of industrial setting, a path through the grass. So that would make sense if it were an RPG Maker thing, why there's like tessellating things, because that's the sort of the style of it. And that is very much the look it has, is an RPG Maker built thing with the carpets and the way the bookcases are and everything. Although the way this is glowing, it almost looks like it's just been clicked by the player. And actually the way the book is lit, it doesn't look like it's lit the same way as the surrounding area. So it's like a cursor. So it's not an RPG Maker then game then if it's got like a book as a cursor, but some other kind of. Let me just search the word architect, because maybe it is. Maybe it's like a Wizard Tower Architect game or something. Prison Architect is the only one that really comes up. I'll just hit this one. Oh, a roguelike or a shoot 'em up. Okay, so it could be like Vampire Survivors. Is that what it's called? Vampire Savior Survivors, I think is what it's called. Oh, okay, right. So that would be why the patterns on the ground are all tessellated, partially because it's that older sort of style, but also because they need to make big environments and lots of them. Interesting. I was not going to get Vampire Survivors from this. I didn't realize it had any kind of futuristic elements to it at all, nor do I have any idea what's going on here. But this looks like what I think of as Vampire Survivor. Think of Vampire Survivors as looking like. Anyway, moving along. Okay, we're in the sort of last arc here. Oh, crap. This looks so familiar. Okay, so we've got a pattern filling out with light from the center. Could be some weird stuff from like an Assassin's Creed game or something. But I feel like I recognize this pattern in particular. Fire Emblem Three Houses came to mind because the Crest of Flames looks a bit like this, but it's not like this. You know what? Let me just put Assassin's Creed before I deliberate any longer. Shadows is too new. I don't think that was even out at this point. Valhalla? Was that out at this point, maybe? Nope. Oh, it's not an Assassin's Creed. Oh, okay. This looks a bit more like fighting lots of orcs, like a Shadow of. Either Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War. So let's try. It looks a little too new for Shadow of Mordor. So let's try Shadow of War. Oh no, it's Shadow of Mordor, is it? Right. Well, that would explain why I thought this looked familiar, because I have played that game through. Lovely. This one's actually quite a helpful one for Middle-earth Shadow games. I mean, I guess there are a lot of video games with orcs in them, but these ones look pretty Tolkien-ish to me. As does the sort of like style of the bracers. Looks very Gondorian to me. In fact, is there even a white tree somewhere on here? Is that what that's supposed to be there? I'm not sure. Anyway. We got it, Middle-earth, moving it on. Okay, here. So we're in a sort of, maybe not apocalyptic, but sort of run down and gritty-looking environment. It's looking like it was something that looked realistic at the time, but has since been a bit dated, looking at the lower resolution. This doesn't look like 1080 quite to me. It looks like it's running in lower than that. So I'm thinking this is like maybe an early PS3 game or something. We've got a big old, like, APC thing here. What appears to be some kind of leisure club here. So what environment would have both? I guess I don't know enough about the Call of Duties to know which one might, but it could be something like that. Uncharted 2 also briefly came to mind, but I think it looks a little. This environment is not in that game, nor does this skyline. The skyline looks a little too like smoggy and like we're in the middle of a war that has been going on for eons, and there are like bombs dropping every second. Let's just go for a Call of Duty, shall we? Don't know which one would be on an early PS3. I don't know, Finest Hour. Okay, so not a Call of Duty. Metacritic score 71%, so not like hugely adored. Their outfits look like they're some kind of bandit, so I guess it's more like a post-apocalypse. I think this is probably us firing at them, so would make it third person, which might make it some kind of Gears of War. I don't really know a lot about Gears of War, but let's give it a go. Gears of War 1? Not a Gears of War. PS3 and Xbox 360. Okay, this is making me think a bit more like BioShock, actually. But then, it's not quite, is it? Or is it? And BioShock is usually in first person, also. No, this can't be BioShock. We already had BioShock 1, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think this is BioShock Infinite. Very stylized with the paint and stuff, though, on the weapons. And so we're on Xbox, because it says a green A to do these things. Oh, right, but we already know it's PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't have many guesses. Maybe, not Mad Max. What's the one I'm looking for? Payne. Max Payne. Maybe a Max Payne. Don't really know what it looks like. Or there was that Scarface game, but that doesn't... You're not, like, fighting APCs in Scarface. You're like it's like mobsters and stuff. Max Payne, I could see maybe being a little bit more like this. Not that I know much about it. I'm gonna say Max Payne, then if I don't think of anything else, I guess I'll try BioShock Infinite. Although I might be more obvious by the next one. Let's try Max Payne 2. Okay, so it's a shooter. Right, I might have guessed. It's not Call of Duty, Gears of War, Max Payne. I guess the sort of like run-down, war-torn area vibe to it could be put it as a Counter-Strike. How many Counter-Strike games are there? The two I know of are Counter-Strike 1, which looks older than this, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which looks newer than this. But there are surely more, right? Okay, yeah, there are more. Condition Zero? Not Counter-Strike. 2009. This looks more like a protagonist character. They look a little more sympathetic than all the ones who are scowling and with mean faces. Dog tags, a t-shirt, tattoos. Game Reactor. Oh, that's where they got the screenshot from, I guess. Okay. Once again, I think if you'd play this, you'd have a sense of what this all is, but it's meaning nothing to me. To me, it looks like Gunman Shoot, the game. That's all I'm getting from it. My biggest clue is the environment feels very war-torn, so Counter-Strike was a not bad guess. Oh, you know what? So I thought this was a low-res screenshot, but actually it's probably motion blur, because this looks a lot more crisp. So we were aiming and moving while this screenshot was taken. Yeah, I just don't know enough shooters, I think, to really have this. I'm gonna take a skip here. Swordfish Studios, got nothing. 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. Oh, okay. I've certainly heard of it. It's notoriously not good. So I actually am rather proud I didn't get it, if I'm honest. Anyway, moving it along. Oh, yet again, we've got a very pixel art style. It almost looks again like some kind of tycoon, or more like a base builder, something like faster than light. It almost has the feel of like we're looking at a spaceship from top down with like the ceiling not visible. Although this looks like a carpeted ground, which has almost a more of a fantasy feel to it. Oh man, they're giving a lot of hard ones today. I'm struggling. I was doing so well for the first like 10, although I did take a while on them. I got overconfident, but I'm getting nothing from this. It doesn't look like anything I can name just yet. I think I'm gonna need to take the skip. All right, so I was right at pixel art style. It's looking a lot more fantasy from this one, though. This looks like some kind of story you might visit. There are a lot of games that affect for this kind of style, and I'm ill-experienced in all of them, I think. But again, I think it's a newer game trying to imitate an older game style, because we've got pixel art, but then we've also got this interesting and pretty accurate sort of lighting. The way it lights around the corner. Doesn't light quite around the corners, but does have a sort of a glow from it and everything. So I'm doubting it came any time earlier than like 2015. What's the game called? Underground? Just Underground? No, I don't think I'm quite gonna get it. It almost looks like it could be a bullet hell. PC and PS4. A bullet hell type thing. Like we had Vampire Survivor earlier. Something like that. It's a bullet hell roguelike, but I don't think I'm going to be able to name it. I've probably seen it played, but I've seen a lot of games that look like this, so I don't think I get it. Like I said, no earlier than 2015, it was 2016. I think I'm going to have to take the skip. I can recognize the kind of game it is, and I don't think I know the name. Developer Dodge Roll. Enter the Gungeon! I've certainly heard of it, but I wouldn't have, I had no idea what it looks like. So I wouldn't have got that. So I'm glad I took the skips on those. Oh boy, okay, another pixelated one, except this is A Link to the Past, so I know that one. That's good. Yay, this is the fight with the giant centipede thing. I've fallen off this particular edge so many times, so I'd recognize this anywhere. I wonder what this white pixel is about. Oh, a spark maybe from having tried to attack them with your sword. Finally one I knew off the bat. It gave me another pixel art one, and immediately I felt a sinking feeling, oh no, it's gonna be another indie game that I haven't played. But no, then I looked at it a little more closely and I was like, oh, this is that big piss-off tower that you keep falling down. Metacritic, too old for Metacritic score until ported, then 95%. That feels about right. Here, you're up in the Death Mountain peaks, and you can see those classic Link to the Past style trees down below. This is the castle walls. Is that even Link's sword there? No, that's one of the guards, surely. This is another classic Zelda dungeon over top. Here's your good old, your uncle, while you're sleeping in bed. And then here's you fighting some things, and there's Zelda and all. Right on. Okay, let's get a bit more momentum back before the end here, shall we? Oh no, I said that, but now I have no idea what this is. Okay, we're looking through some curtains, like blinds. With a spooky red light, unless that's blood looking through. So I'm thinking horror. I'm thinking you're in some kind of like police station or something in a very noir kind of way, maybe like an Evil Within. And there's something spooky with red eyes looking in from outside. That's what I'm saying. Evil Within. Guessed. Boom. Nope, not Evil Within. Oh, this looks like a live action. So could it be like Night Trap? Metacritic score 83%. Well, no, it should be too old for Metacritic score if it was Night Trap. Unless it was a re-release. Let me just guess it, because I want it to be that, and I don't get it. Open-eyed. Okay. Hey, so is this... But this is clearly a photorealistic person. So it's a photograph of them. But it was released during the time of Metacritic, when I would have thought this kind of game was long over, and it was reasonably well liked. And it has funky... So open-eyed, that won't be the title of the game, I guess. Well, actually, they've done that before with Glover, so let me just in case it is. Okay, never mind. So I'm guessing this is not a title card. This will be like a title card for a chapter, or it'll be like the title card for like a skill. Like when you scroll to open-eyed in the skill tree, this shows up. Original platform PC. Oh, okay, interesting. Once again, I'm fairly confident I don't know it, but I certainly don't know it from these three. Let me give it one more look at it. Squisher Z or Squisher 2? Oh, okay. This looks a bit like Slime Rancher, but I don't know what the hell the rest of this would have to do with Slime Rancher, but I guess just try it. Maybe it's like the same developer or something. Get out of the way. Case 2, Teentopia Harassment 111.5. November 5th. 1999. Case 1, Gumshoe Gooper Infringement. 1999. Case closed. Abbey Rights 58, Abbey Rights 58, Abbey Rights 58. Reported violations found. That almost feels like a screen name of one of the players. Type of violation. This is any content of 1962 through ye possible the tool to rep. What does it say down here? Spring thing, sort of thing. Okay. I got nothing. Very stylized, obviously, and lots of interesting and peculiar art, and case closed. What's it called? Duck Detective? It doesn't show up here. Or is it called Alligator Detective? Is that the one? Later Alligator, maybe? No. Tender Shoot. It's not This Is the Game, or Welcome to the Game, whatever it's called, right? Where you're going on the browsers to do stuff? I don't think so, but it's clearly that's what's going on here. Is you're scrolling through websites and it's some kind of mystery game or something. Adventure point and click, they said. 2019. I don't think I know it. Hypnospace Outlaw. Complete news to me, but very cool looking. Kind of creepy looking, actually. Although it says adventure point and click and not horror, so it's probably funnier in context, but there's something kind of eerie about all these different shots being meshed together, actually. Never heard of it. Right on. Game 207. Okay, once again, a very zoomed-in screenshot we're looking at here, but I'm seeing some more chromatic aberration again. That's what I think I'm looking at here. Last time we saw that was on Alien Isolation, but this looks a little more low-res with stretchy textures. Almost like it could be Power Drill Massacre, but that is not here, so it isn't that. The last time we had one that looked a bit like this was Miles Morales, wasn't it? What I can't tell is if we're looking at if this is like a shot, like a pre-rendered painted thing where it's artistically been done so that this side is darker, or if this is real time and we're like shining a light on something. It almost looks like the leg of something here, or like the root of a tree. The vibe I'm getting is like PS1 affectionate contemporary horror game. But I've got no guesses I can take from that. Never mind, this looks like Cuphead? Maybe? Now, it's definitely what the style is giving off to me, but, did we already have Cuphead, maybe? Let's just try it. Oh, the answer is Cuphead. Okay, good. This looks an awful lot like Cuphead. No idea what this is in Cuphead. Never played it. I would not have got Cuphead from this. I would have got... This looks like Cuphead to me, and so does this, and this absolutely does. Fascinating. It was just the art style, not the location at all, that made me think Cuphead here, but... Wow, this is a confusing shot right here. Again, since I haven't played it, this maybe is a little more obvious if you play the game what this is supposed to be, but Cuphead, again, would not have come to the first, like, 300 guesses here. Anyway, last 3 games. Let's do this. Okay, game 208. We're looking at some kind of dark fantasy. We've got, like, buckets full of weapons, so we're in some kind of smithy, probably. Backlit all spookily from back there. I can't tell if this is hand-painted or if we're in gameplay here. I think this is more like a painted still. Yes, I could put it in a Guild Wars-y territory again. Ooh, but then it could be so many things. Oh, I feel like it's gonna be one where I crash and burn on the last 3, and I don't get a nice, satisfying arc to it. It's been a rough game it has today, but I'm glad for it. A lot of interesting stuff as well. The shape of these buckets is interesting. They've got like spouts like you're meant to pour stuff out of them, but they've got weapons in them as well, as though. So it's like a smith's bucket you would like put to douse a weapon that you'd just been forging up, and then you would leave the weapon in there and then dump out the water or something. So it's not like a high-tech fantasy like a Final Fantasy or like a Warcraft where they've got like magic forges. People are doing this by hand, if it is indeed a fantasy game. So something a bit more down-to-earth, like low fantasy, probably with like a painted style. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell if this is a painting or if it's a much newer game with really good lighting. I've been doing so much skipping today, but I feel like I'm gonna have to take the skip here. I don't know. All right, now it looks like we're looking from above. I can't tell if this is really close and these are small ferns on the ground, or if these are like trees and we're way zoomed out, in which case it's like a kingdom, kingdom, help me, kingdom, not Kingdom Hearts, not Kingdom Come Deliverance, Kingdom Come 2, I'll just put that in, but I'm getting the vibe of like a top-down type thing. Maybe strategy, or it could be a Diablo. Well, no, but Diablo we're surely on consoles as well. Again, we've got, all I'm getting is fantasy. I'm not really getting a closer sense. We have varying landscapes. This looks a bit more like almost subtropical. This is like a moody forge in a dungeon, and here is like snowy mountaintops. So it's like in that same kind of Elder Scrolls, Divinity, Diablo-y place. Maybe a Divinity game? I'm not quite sure. Original Sin 2? No, action RPG. Okay, so way off on the top-down tactical side of things. Could it be a Dark Souls, like 3? No, original platform PC. Action RPG, a PC, originally a PC exclusive action RPG. The fancy style, a big, spooky, imposing, imperial-looking statue here. This is almost, again, looking like ancient Rome or whatever. Some creepy cultist-looking thing standing beside a bunch of suits of armor. Talos Principle is what comes to mind, but that's more puzzles, right? That's not an action RPG. I guess I'm just thinking Talos because of like the ancient mythology connection. I feel like Is it a game where you're like going through a museum that takes you to different time periods? I feel like it distracts of some chord in me, but I'm almost certain I don't know the name. Oh, well, now this looks a bit more like a Diablo or something. I guess I should just try it. Diablo 4, grinding gear games. Oh, no, it is a bit more... When they said action RPG, it is like top-down still. Something a bit more like a Dota or a League or whatever. Although it's looking a little more single-player-y. You'll have to tell me. Path of Exile. Okay, I've heard of it, but I wouldn't have told you that was what it looks like. All right, come on. I can do better on these last 2, can I? Oh, again with another pixel arty thing that I'm almost certain is a newer game with a retro style. Oh, man. It's just going to be a slow decline, isn't it? Just a decadent bout of failure in these last bunch of games. I've got nothing looking at this. I'm just like Terraria. But I'm very sure we already had it. I gotta skip ahead. Oh, no, never mind. Too old for Metacritic, so it is this old. Oh, well, that's a little more helpful. It's looking pretty gruesome. Maybe one of the Dooms, and these are like cutscenes. Like, let's try Doom 2. Oh, it is a Doom. Okay. Wait, is it just the first Doom? Oh, okay, Doom. Right. I thought for sure we already had Doom. This looks very Doomish to me. Okay, hey, that's a good sign. Maybe 210 is gonna be perfect. Oh no, 210 is gonna be hard, isn't it? Well, we already had Katamari Damacy, but, this could almost be a Katamari game. one of the later ones? Or it's the Lorax of the game, and those are truffula trees or whatever they're called. Katamari Forever? It's not a Katamari, although I see why I thought so. Oh no. This looks like a very stylish indie game, the name of which I do not know. Actually, it looks a little bit like Use Your Words' UI. Hey, Metacritic score 80%. Oh, it's not that. Interesting. This is weird because they're showing us lots of like sky and zoomed out stuff. Like actually a lot of sky so far. So it's like whatever's on the ground is gonna really tip us off. So what thing has... I see a lot of squareness going on here, but then the trees are all like wibbly wobbly and hand-drawn looking in a sort of cute cartoony way. So why is it bouncing back and forth between all being quadrilaterally shaped and otherwise? Originally a PC exclusive Ultimate Chicken Horse, maybe? Oh, that would kind of make some sense because it would be you're building it as you go along. Ah, of course. Not bad. I was sort of able to logic my way toward that one. Not that I've ever played it, but I have a sort of understanding that you're like, it's kind of like speedrunners or something like that, except you're like fighting with each other and building the landscape as you go to block each other off, and it's sort of got a versus puzzly platformery kind of thing. Nice, and you're like, there are buzzsaws and everything. 2016, right on, Clever Endeavor Games. I believe I own that game, but I have never once tried it. Oh, I thought it looked fun though. Phew, that was a bit of an ordeal. I was getting wrecked there, I was. Demolished and disintegrated and atomized and all sorts. I did not do it very well, but it was certainly a lot stronger toward the beginning. You could even see there's like a pattern of like, okay, 2 guesses, then 3 guesses, then 4, then it kind of stayed bad for a bit. But yeah, really right in here. I mean, I had no idea what was going on. There was lots of fancy AAA stuff and a handful of neat indie things, and a lot of the pixel art ones today, which are a lot harder to get a bead on from a zoomed in shot, I think. Because by definition, the more you zoom in the more you zoom in, the more it's just pixels, and so if it's already pixelated, that happens sooner when you zoom in. A tough assortment, but that was still a good deal of fun. That might be the most we've failed in one of these ever. Is it? What was our ratio? 7 out of the 30 I failed. That's not a good score. For our history anyway. I've usually been able to work my way toward things a lot better, but there was some names I just didn't knows. And I was getting a lot of the consoles wrong as well. Like I didn't realize Monster Hunter Rise was like Switch. I remember it being a big thing on Switch, but I didn't realize... Not the Monster Hunters aren't all Nintendo-y things, right? They're surely on other consoles. Yeah, they've been on all kinds of consoles. There are just a handful that have been Nintendo exclusives. This is one of those series that like hopped consoles over and over again, like Final Fantasy, which was originally just a Nintendo thing, and then it was all over PlayStation, and now it's kind of a little bit everywhere. Monster Hunter originally PlayStation 2, then Wii, then 3DS, then PS4 and Xbox One, and PS5 and Xbox Series X and PC. They had one on PSP, then did the Switch ones. They're just like all over. They're like, whatever console works. A splendid old time that was, though. I imagine a bunch of you got a good handful of these 7 that I failed pretty miserably on. So let us all know if that was the case, and that is all for now. Next week, the channel's going to be some more of the Dark Pictures Anthology, A Little Hope. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's going to be out of here now. Peace! Bigger. You don't want it gargantuan. This has got to be just about right? Oh, okay. There we go.